to see you, Kakwenza. Rukirabasaija. Hi, how are you?
It is Rukirabasaija, not
Rukirabasaija. Now, you're not Rukirabashwezi, you're Rukirabasaija.
It is Rukirabasaija, not Rukirabasaija. Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. How are you doing? I think it's proper for me to ask you how you are after all this traumatic experience. How is everything?
Yeah,
where are you at?
You don't need to know where I am. I'm in Malawi.
Are you in Malawi? Are you in Rwanda? Where are you at?
I'm in Malawi.
Okay, guys, can you hear me okay? I think some people are seeing the connection is terrible.
I don't know whether my picture is coming out well. I tried to go to the compound, but there was no internet.
Yeah, so I see the picture. We see you very clearly, but if you can try to speak up a little bit more, that would be great.
Don't forget that I'm sick.
You managed to sneak out of the country, so you can definitely speak up. But man,
you know how I sneaked out?
That's what I want to know. Like, how did you manage to beat President Yoweri Museveni security detail that's at the border, whichever pass you use, route, but just share that experience.
I got lipstick, I got masakara, I got a gomesi, yeah, and I got a bicycle. I was good to go.
You went to Masakara, you got a gomesi, and none of these officers at the border could know that this is the most wanted man in the country.
They were sleeping.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
What does that say about our security, though? If a Kakwenza can...
Our security, they are just rubbish. All they know is brutalizing Ugandans. You know, the law is very clear. You're not supposed to arrest someone before you reach a conclusion or before you investigate. But here in Uganda, they first arrest, then they begin investigations. That is why you find prisons are full of 90% of people in prisons. They are innocent. They don't even have an idea about the crime they were arrested for.
Tell me about your experience, like from the time you were picked from your house. Did the people who arrest you give you any reason as to why you were arrested? Like, what time did they pick you up from your house? What reasons did they give your family when they were taking you? If you don't mind, just take me through that moment.
But is it yet time? I thought we were just checking.
So yeah, we are checking, but we have like 300 people online, and everyone who is watching us, please share this so that the people we're trying to reach can see this message. Share as much as you can. So I think we're supposed to begin at exactly 4 p.m. Ugandan time, which is going to be like 8 p.m. New York time, and wherever you are. So do you want to first tell me, like, okay, we can wait like 2 minutes for the people we had invited to join this broadcast to show up. So before we begin,
yes,
Kakwenza,
exactly. That was my point.
Sorry, can you speak up a little bit more, please? Or is it the volume?
I can see people are listening, are hearing me. It is only you that is not hearing me.
Okay. I see. All right.
Yes. You're looking good, by the way.
Oh, really? You think so? Thank you.
You look like a midnight snack.
Oh, Mukama, Kakwenza, don't start. Don't start. Anyway, so I think it's exactly 1 minute to go. So guys, share. Kakwenza has so much to share with us. I really am so much interested in knowing what takes place behind the cells, wherever you were detained. When you were being tortured, who ordered your torture? I saw yesterday you were exchanging words with the first son, Muhozi Kainerugaba. So we all want to hear all that, how he met you in the cells, and what message do you have for the government of Uganda? So guys, share as much
What
as you can.
what message do I have for the government, or what message I have for the president and for the dictator and his deputy dictator?
Dictator in Kakwenza's words. Kakwenza's words. I won't say that.
And his,
I'm a
and his
journalist, so I'll
deputy
stick
dictator.
to what I was told to do. So, but this is uncensored broadcast. I know so many news stories get edited before they're aired, so feel free. Send questions, whatever questions you have for him. He's here. I'm going to limit this to only 1 hour because we have to go do other things. And Kakwenza, I think we can start right now. So let's begin with from the time you were arrested. What time was it? How did they come to your house? How did they find you? Who are these people who arrested you? And where did they take you?
I got an Uber. I got an Uber from Forest Mall, Gogo, and it took me home, drove me home. So the driver saw me enter the house and close. Then after like 2 hours, the same driver came back with the guys, and he was telling them that I saw him enter and close. After entering the gate, he came, he came with the officers and he was showing them my house. I was like, I saw him enter and close the door, and he's in. And for me, I was seeing them through the curtains, and they didn't know that I was still inside the house. So unfortunately, my bedroom window was open. So as the officers were peeping through, as I also was looking for the escape to the ceiling, the officer saw me moving moving in the kitchen. So he was like, he alerted the others. They were like 12 of them were in UPDF uniform, and about
UPDF
8,
uniform?
yes.
Okay.
Then 8 of them were in civilian clothes. They were armed with guns, machine guns, sledgehammers, pistols. So they asked me to open and I refused. So that is when I begin calling my lawyer. I got on phone with my lawyer the entire time. I refused to open. So they got the sledgehammer. They hammered the burglar proof from the window, and they accessed my house and confiscated my phone, did a simple house search, and took me with them, handcuffed me. They had to first beat me, of course, because I
To
had refused
arrest
to
you? They
open.
had
And
to beat you to arrest you first?
of course, they had said that, they had vowed that once they entered, they would break my legs. And indeed, when they entered, and upon landing on me, they started beating me heavily, kicking me, hitting me with gun butts. Yeah. So I was handcuffed like that and bundled into a drone. There were 2 drones and other 3 vehicles outside my gate. Yeah, and foolishly my askari opened for them. Maybe he didn't know, or maybe he was threatened with guns. So that is how I was arrested, and they put a sack on my head and tightened the what? Tightened it around my neck, and I could not say anything, and they drove me away to Entebbe. You may ask yourself how I knew that I was in Entebbe, definitely, but I can tell you that I have a decent sense of geography, so I knew where they were taking me.
So when they were doing all that, did they have, like, because you said they searched your house, did they show you any search warranty? Did they tell you
They
why they
didn't
were
have.
taking you away or not?
I asked them, what do you want? Where is the arrest warrant? They didn't have any. They didn't have any such warrant. All the arrest was illegal. It was done in a commando way. Like as if they were arresting a pig to take for slaughter.
So what time was this again?
It was about, I think, 3:34, around there.
Broad daylight.
Yes.
So wherever they took you, what happened?
So when they took me, we reached, of course, I was not seeing anything, but the environment was like a barrack, so I could feel it. Huh? The Kiswahili, the rampas and bruhaha of the soldiers playing around, you know. I could even hear in the distant interior some, like a chopper a chopper was landing or it was flying out, you know. So it was really a barracks, and yeah, that is how I knew that I was there. And so I was taken into a room with very loud music. Yeah, I found they took me in a room with very loud music. I didn't know about it. I thought that the music was going to be switched off or what, until they started beating me up, beating with bludgeons and batons, hitting my ankles. You know, hitting severely. I didn't even count the number of times they hit me, but it was very severe to the extent that I couldn't feel my legs anymore. So afterwards, they asked me, "Do you know how to dance?" You know, speaking in Swahili. I told them, "Yes, I know how to dance." So they asked me, "Can you please dance?" Yes. So I danced. I thought that they would stop me at 5 minutes, but can you imagine the dancing took the whole night? You know,
So they made you
dancing, you
dance
sweat.
too?
Of course, that is what I'm explaining.
Wait, I'm sorry, this is not funny. But the thought of them forcing you to dance is just really funny. I'm not laughing at you. Kakwenza.
I think I later realized the reason why they ask people there, uh, the victims there to dance is the place is very cold. So the mere sitting down, you start shivering. Yeah. So they had better keep you active. So the entire time I was there, I was, you know, dancing is for 20, if the day has 24 hours, dancing is 23 hours. So you dance, you sweat, you stop sweating, the whole body becomes like piece of wood, you know. So it is very terrible, my dear. So I thought that they were telling me to dance for 5 minutes, but when I danced for 3 hours, I told the Afande that I am tired. So he was like, "Yeah, you're tired." I was like, "Yes." Okay, he was like, "Oh, go push up position." So I did push ups. I thought that he wanted me to do like 20 or 30. Can you imagine? I did 50 and I collapsed. And he came and beat me up. I was like, "If you have decided to do push up, please do push up until until I tell you to stop." And I told him,
So
"No,
how
okay,
many
let me
push-ups
dance."
did you have to do every day?
No, if you are tired of dancing, you go and do push up. You can push up the entire day. They don't care. Hmm? Yes, so that was my first day there. That was the torture. And my legs, actually that night, even though I was dancing, my legs were all swollen as if I had like elephantiasis. Uh, were so swollen, so they could bring spray and start spraying them, injecting them. And the following day is when they took me for interrogation. Yeah.
So at what will they were forcing you to dance? At what point did they start torturing you? What kind of
Of course, torture
sorry?
began torture began when I was arrested. That is when the torture began, unless you have a different understanding of the word torture.
Because I don't
Torture
think
began.
dancing is torture. Like that's fun. You dance for fun. But like
Are you serious?
no, like
Are you
I'm just
serious?
saying in normal life, people dance just
You
to
cannot dance. You cannot dance for more than 1 hour when you're just there dancing.
right, that's true.
Yes, but for us who dance for even, you know, all the time you're dancing throughout the night. Sleeping is only, they tell you, please, okay, sleep for 30 minutes. Of course, you have pain, you cannot sleep. Yeah.
Do you mind please
So
describing the room where you were, how it looked like? Did you like
just
get to see any signs that
just
other people are being tortured from there? Just
so
if
I at first I thought I was alone, but when I was on the third day, that is when I realized that we were men. And indeed, I was the seventh in that room, though I don't know about, I don't know whether, I don't know about other rooms. Definitely, you know, there are very many rooms, but I was the seventh. It was a room of about 10 to 10 feet. Very clean tiles and walls and what. So sometimes I could be stubborn and I look around and I see whatever was, you know, like I could sit down and I could see the tiles, I could see the walls. Yeah.
Did you get to see those other 7, or you were not allowed even to see them?
You just see the legs because you cannot move up like when you're eating, you just try and be stubborn and, you know, you try to look around, you know, could only allow you to pull off the blindfold only when we are eating.
So you only take it off when you're just like having food. But at some point, did you get to see the people who served you the food?
Like,
can you
like
identify
you
them?
You cannot see anyone. You only see the boots. You only see the legs. So you cannot see anyone. So on the second day, they would be interrogating me while, of course, again, beating me up, you know, beating using buttons. They were using buttons. They were using, I think, hippopotamus whips, wires. You saw how my body looks like.
That's gross, yeah.
So they would get pliers. They start plucking flesh from my thighs, you know, all asking me about my citizenship, that I'm Rwandan. I was like, come on, I was born in Uganda. I've been in Uganda for the entire life. I can take you to Rukunja and I show you my where my father was buried, my great-grandfather, my grandfather, you know. So they thought that I was here doing espionage for President Kagame. So the whole interrogation was asking about my funders, who is funding the publication of my books. You know, they're asking me about the USA embassy officials, British Council officials, European Union officials. Of course, definitely, I would tell them that I don't know the people you are asking about. So they are forcing me to log into my Amazon account that I pulled down the book. Amazon account, that I should pull down the book, the other one I wrote describing my torture in CMY. Yeah, the beatings were very severe.
And did you do that?
I don't know my password for the Amazon, because you know you cannot do that when in Uganda. So someone else helped me in the USA. So I told them that I have no idea who posted that book on Amazon. And I was severely beaten for that, for not knowing who put it there. So the beating was very severe to the extent that I could feel like I'm in my own pool of blood. Sometimes I even lost it. I collapsed and I thought that I was dead, until I woke up like 6 hours later when the doctor was cleaning my wounds, working on injecting me. You know, they would inject me 6 injections every 6 hours, 17 tablets and capsules every 6 hours. So you can imagine the amount of poison I have in my blood, such overdose. All because of the international
did this
pressure they wanted me
injection
to
somehow like affect your stability? I mean, mentally, of course, you were tortured physically, but like, did you feel unconscious at some point after being given these injections?
That is what I said that I did. So I collapsed and I thought I had died. I regained my consciousness like after 6 hours. That is when I found my doctor. You know, the doctor, he did not have anything on my body. I was completely naked. He was working on my wounds. you know, washing them, putting in very painful medicine. Yeah.
What other reasons did they give you when they were torturing you besides the Amazon book, you denouncing your Ugandan citizenship or having ties with Rwanda? What are some of other the reasons they gave you when they were beating you up?
My articles in the newspapers, you know, they would Google my name and all the information that comes beneath it, and they would read, and you know, they would even ask me about the authors of such articles. Even my own articles, they would ask me like where I get such information. You know, they would make me to swear that I would never write again. So they even told me to buy these small phones, Mapesa phones, that I should give up on smartphones and computers so that I don't write again, you know. Such things, you know, the idea of taking me up for UPDF training, then they deploy me in the UPDF legal department, you know,
They
such
offered you
things.
that?
Yes, Mohozi offered me that.
Mohozi himself talked
Yes,
to you and said, I'm offering you this if you stop writing about the government.
yes,
But the
and he asked me
General
anything
Mohozi
that I
says
wanted.
he doesn't even knows you. He only got to know you when they started writing about you in the news. How do you respond to that?
But can he say that he met me there? Can he really say that? He's an idiot. Maybe he was drunk, or he made that tweet when he was drunk. But I have seen him 3 times when I was arrested like this. After I met him after 1 week. Then on was it on 9th? I met him on 9th January. It was a Sunday. Then when I was kidnapped from the prison, when I was given bail, and these guys kidnapped me again. They did not mistreat me. They took me like a VIP, and they took me to him. And he told me that, he begged me. He told me, please, Kakwenza, don't write another book. Don't write another book. Stop writing. You can tell me anything you want. I refused. I told him, let me first heal. We shall talk. I told him, let me first go to the hospital. But you know, Mike, I never got out such offers.
What other offers did he give you?
He told me that he can give my wife. Okay, he said my wives. I don't know where he got that idea.
Wait,
He
like,
can
what
offer
is
them
it with your wife?
Huh?
What did he say about your wife? Your wife or his wife?
He said, I can give your wives jobs, cars, I can give you houses, I can give you everything you want. You just do anything you want. I don't know how he came about that to say that I have wives. Anyway. But the guy is a crook. He participated in my torture. He made me to kneel down, and he put a camera in my front and asked me to apologize to him and his father. And of course, I was on gunpoint. I had to do it, but I can authoritatively tell him that it was it was a cosmetic, it was a lipstick apology. I can never apologize. I can never apologize to him. I can never apologize to him. You know, when you cannot apologize to someone who is putting you on a gunpoint, you know, or from torture. Because I stated it clearly to him. For me, I I told him that for me, I do not have any attachment material wealth. I am not attached to, I'm not interested in any political position, because previously they have offered me political positions and I've refused. I made my point clear. Me, I was born an iconoclast. Me, I criticize. So even if this government falls and another one comes, me, I am not interested in any political position. Me, I'm interested in criticizing.
Right.
Yeah. So I told him that me, I hate injustice, I hate impunity, so I must criticize.
Did you tell him that camera he brought for you to apologize?
Sorry?
Did you tell him that before the camera he brought to you for you to apologize?
Did he what?
Did you tell him that when did you use the camera he used or take advantage to say that to him?
No, he brought the camera and asked me to do an apology, and I apologized. He replayed and deleted it and said, no, this is a bad apology. He put the camera again to me and said, please apologize. Like I did apologies for like 4 times when he was deleting and saying, no, here you have to be loud. Here you have to speak this. Here you have to do this. You know, such an idiot.
Okay, that's funny. So Kakwenza.
Yeah, then on Sunday, that was on 9th, 9th, he came because all my clothes were shredded and braided. And I was like, now, you know, you are an important person. We are taking you to court tomorrow. So now you have to appear in public when you're okay, when you're looking good. So he brought for me clothes.
Mohozi him.
So the clothes, yes, the clothes you saw me putting on in court, the khaki pant, the shirt, the hood, the underwear and the vest, they were all bought by Muhozi. He bought them and brought them to me. He had to ask me the size and I told him, yeah, he brought them to me.
So did you return these clothes though? Because you could be having someone's property wherever you are.
No, they were brand new clothes.
Okay.
He bought them and brought them to me. They are brand new.
Right. So after, just tell me, like after all that happened, what next? It looks
So
it's
let me first tell you this. On Monday in the night, I was put in a drone again and taken to SIU in Chereka. That is why they picked me on Tuesday early morning, very, very early morning at 7. And they smuggled me into court. Yeah, you know, it was not yet the official time of court. The official time of court, we all know that it is 9, but they produced me in court at 8:30. I did not have, my lawyer was not there. We were only that idiotic magistrate and the 2 prosecutors, only 4 of us in court. And my tormentors, they were guarding the door outside with guns waiting for me. So they had, the magistrate had an order that I should be sent to prison on remand so that I can heal. By the time I come out,
and this is
I am healed. I do not have, sorry?
order from above. Because
Yes.
So
I was remanded to Chitaria. They drove me to Chitaria. Yeah. That is how I spent in Chitaria about, was it 13 days? Yes.
what does this
And
about our justice system, Kakwenza?
sorry?
What does this all say about our justice system in Uganda?
What do you expect from these zombies who are appointed by the president? Of course, they have to kowtow to his balderdash all the time. You know, whenever he wants a deal to be passed, you know, he uses them to do those fucking stuff. First of all, it was very, very wrong for him to send me to prison when I was tortured, and it is against the law. You know that.
Because first they could have really to go seek treatment, not to remand you.
Yes, he could have sent me to the hospital because I was very badly off. I could not even walk. I was even urinating blood. But he chose to send me to prison. And you expect me to have kind words for such people?
That's so inhuman.
I do not abuse, may I describe. So that is how you see I describe such people. If you are a fool, you are a fool. That is, we have to make use of English language. If a person is a fool, tell them that they are fools. Because that you have to describe their character. So first, for example, a magistrate who does not observe my rights as a Ugandan, who does not look at the law, what the law says, and he and he sides with my tormentors, to persecute me, not to prosecute me. Which kind of person is that? So that man is very shameful. He doesn't even deserve to be in such an office.
But look at his position, Kakwenza. You just said he had an order to remand. Probably he was also fearing for his
But he should,
position.
he should exercise his duty as a judicial officer. They should be first of all, they front themselves as independent, that independent judiciary. Which kind of independence when gunmen bring me to court and he just there presides over impunity? Which kind of independence is that?
The question of independence has been raised many times, given the fact that the president appoints the chief justice. So you have a point. Okay.
Yes, if he cannot, if he thinks that he cannot do what they tell him to do, he can resign. He can say, no, I cannot. The reason why, actually, that is why they use him a lot. They have used him in Nicholas Opio's cases. They have used him in Nana Mwafrika's case. So they know that they have their Bamrika there in court, who is ready to do their dirty jobs. Why didn't they take me to another person? Why specifically him? That man, he's not a human being, he's a monster. A judicial officer who does not exercise his duties as expected doesn't even deserve to be in such an office. His father sold a cow to educate a cow.
Wait.
Sorry?
What was that? He sold a cow to you calling a judge?
His father sold a pig to educate a pig because he's pig-headed. You cannot be a judicial officer and you send a tortured person to prison. And I have no regrets for my words, by the way.
Those are your words. To me,
yes,
not a serving judge. Okay, so let's talk about your experience while at Kitalia prison.
Before that, let me tell you something. For me, I am protected by the law. To this freedom of expression, I am protected by the law to describe you. If you call it body shaming, if you call it abusing, it is the law that decides. You know, Section 25 of the Computer Misuse Act, it was put in place to protect those idiots. Actually, we have like 5 petitions against it. It was put in place by those fools just to protect themselves from ridicule and criticism. But me, I can categorically tell you that I criticize, and I have a right to criticize. It is called freedom of speech. But they do not have a right to torture me after criticizing them. Because the law is very clear, anti-torture, even if you slap me, that is torture. But me speaking against your behavior, it is freedom of expression. You can never do anything about it. So I have freedom to describe them using literature. That is what you call abuse. It is not abuse. But they do not have a right to persecute me, to impinge on my rights. They do not have it.
That's true. Freedom of speech should not be given by any other government. It's a right, it's a constitutional right, and it's a God-given right. No one should gag the other for speaking whatever they feel.
Yes.
Before we move on, Kakwenza, I want to recognize John Chandler from the U.S. State Department who just joined this broadcast, officials from the United Nations, and also from the U.S. Embassy in Uganda. Good to have you and enjoy the story. It's not a very good one, but please listen to Kakwenza. Let's move on to Kitalia prison. You're now remanded to Kitalia prison.
Yes.
So how did Yabasaija's guys treat you well there?
No, Yabasaija's guys, they treat me with human dignity. I have no complaint about it. I was welcomed very well. I was allowed to sleep very well. I was fed very well. I was allowed visitors. They really treated me. They really took care of me. I have no problem with Yabasaija's guys. I have even credited him very many times.
All right.
But Mohozi's guys, they are not human beings. Those people are not people. So it is in prison where I healed my wounds, you know. They gave me a standby doctor, you know. They also wondered that which kind of people gave me such scars. When they undressed me and they saw the scars, I could read the emotions, you know, on their faces. They also wondered what kind of people can beat up a person to such an extent and also send him to prison. So they really treated me with the utmost dignity. I don't have any complaint with them.
Coming back to court, of course, you criticize the judge. You've said he's not sorry. I know I see all the messages you guys are sending me, but I would appreciate it like if first hold them so I can finish this because they're kind of distracting me. So let's talk about your past. Of course, but you're out of the country. How did you manage to do this, Kakwenza?
You know, these fools, I don't know whether they gave me poison and they want the situation to be irreversible. That is why they frustrated the bail. They frustrated me getting back my passport. You know, the magistrate was very clear. He refused to sign the bail forms unless my passport is in court. You know?
That an order?
So, sorry?
Was that like an order for him to do that?
Of course, it was an order from above that I should not get my passport.
So he doesn't want you to go abroad to seek treatment, or he just thought you're going to leave the country?
He thought that I was leaving the country to go and expose their criminality and show the people, their funders. I show them my scars, my my thighs, my back, you know, in such a despicable manner, you know. So when I asked for it, and even when my doctor referred me to Germany for treatment, he bluntly refused. He said that this case is becoming obese. That is what he said, that the case was becoming obese for him.
I think,
and
did he say that, or it's just your favorite word?
He said that he said that when I put in my application for the passport, and the German embassy wrote to him confirming the same, that I had 1 hour that was to travel to Germany. He was like, this case is becoming obese for me. That is why he gave it another week to give a ruling. Can you imagine? I take my medical documents to court to be given a passport, to rush out for medical attention, and you say that we are giving it another week. Which kind of person is that? As if he doesn't have a child, you know? As if he doesn't have any sympathy for a sick person. I was so embarrassed, you know? Very, very embarrassed. But he refused to give me my passport, and I could not just stay in the country to die. So I decided also to run away, to go and look for medical attention. And I can tell you that after getting the medical attention, I am coming back to Uganda, and I will use the international airport that is Entebbe. Whatever they want to do, they should be ready by now, because I am coming back after getting fined.
You know, when I read that in the news, I was like, if the Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Olanya, can be allowed to fly out of the country to get medical help, why can't Kakwenza be allowed to go seek medical attention?
You know, these people, you know, these people, they even go to seek medical attention when they have these small diseases like gonorrhea. Imagine taking gonorrhea to Germany just to, you know, flying to Germany to treat gonorrhea and syphilis. Then what about me with such kind of medical condition? So for them, when you are opposition and you are a pariah. So I cannot beg. So the only message I have for the magistrate, he should put my passport in the dock and try it. Me, I'm not going back to his stupid court.
I'm gonna take you back. That's like, I know the story is flowing very well, but before they arrested you, you had made a tweet attacking the president and his son, calling him a beast, and
Attacking, please, you need to revise your language. I didn't attack anyone. I didn't abuse anyone. I told you that me, I use literature to describe people, who they are. Yes, and I have no apologies. So if I use my literature to describe your character or who you are, it is very wrong to say that I have attacked you. No, I'm telling you the truth. If you have a big stomach and I tell you that, yeah, you have a big stomach, why should you complain? Or if I call you inebriated, can Mhos go to court and prove that he doesn't drink alcohol, he was not drunk? Or can he go to court and prove that he's not a curmudgeon?
you have no proof to that he was drunk and he was drunk tweeting.
But he's an alcohol person, not so?
I'm not sure. I don't know him very well. So anyway.
So if I call him a short-tempered person, and he indeed is a very short-tempered person. So me, I was describing his character and how he is generally. So I did not abuse anyone. If I decide to abuse, the internet will run crazy.
Is he just short-tempered or intolerant? There is a difference there. But anyway.
I don't even think there is a word to describe his character. He's a barbaric person. His kind of barbarism was got from the breast, or it was inherited from his father. He inherited the barbarism from his father.
So did he?
So you can see that you can see where he's going. His father is chief of barbarism. Now he has infected the son. The son is even going overloaf before becoming the president. Now, such kind of person does not even have the capacity to lead a Marwa group, but he's just there yapping Moho's project 2026. Who is going to vote for such a fool? Huh? He does not have the intellectual acuity. He's not a diplomat. He needs to go and read books and prepare his mind so that he can become a human being and come back to contest for the presidency. He should learn from people like Barack Obama. Intellectualism. You cannot just be a gunman in love with violence and what? With guns, you are a Ferrandala, you are what, and you say you want to become a president. What kind of president will he be? For him, he's in love with me. I will support anyone who exudes intellectualism. Now, such a kind of person who understands only violence, guns, revenge, such a person can never become a president. And you think that the country will be at peace. No.
Like you say, just a critique. Mhozi has diehards who see potential in him.
They are not diehards. Those are bankrolled chamuchas, bamrikas. He gives them money. NSN person can never support Mhozi. Those bankrolled chamuchas you see on Twitter, on Facebook, he gives them money. He gives them money to defend him. So if you see a lot of rampers and brouhaha on Facebook and Twitter, don't think that it is a genuine support. It is not. Those people they meet at there's a place at Lumumba Avenue. That is where they meet and they give them money and they start going to buzz the internet with the nonsense to show support. They open fake accounts and they start confusing people that he has support. Which kind of support does he have? The hired support is not support.
Kakwenza, did Muhozi personally torture you, or you didn't see him either?
I didn't see him torture me, but he was there himself. If he was not there himself, why did I meet him 3 times? So that means he was there and he participated in my beating. He's, you know, that man, I don't have any kind word for him. I think I've exhausted all the words.
I've called him all sorts of things, I know. Okay.
No, I have not. I'm trying to be a good person on this show.
Describe, right? Okay, let's go now. You were telling me the story of how you were taken to Italia prison. So while there, did they treat you? Did they take care of you? Did you heal from the prison cells?
Yes, I did heal from the prison cells.
You haven't healed. You still need help.
Okay, I haven't healed, but I mean the scars. The scars, because by the time I was taken to prison, I think when my lawyer came to see me, he described the condition I was in. But honestly speaking, I'm not fine, yes. The way I went to that prison is not the way I came out. I cannot start saying that in Chitaria they treated me bad. They treated me very well. Very, very well, with dignity. Yeah. By the time I came out of prison, at least I could walk on my own. The scars had dried and they had the things had peeled off. Though I was still limping, but I was a little bit fine.
This is really a heavy, traumatic story. And I appreciate you for sharing it with me. As is, I know many other stories that have been aired on TV have been censored, but this is a raw story, and keep sharing, guys, until.
So the only thing we can get ourselves out of this this mess we're encapsulated in is to cooperate, and we send the dictator packing. It is very bad that there are some people who think that we can do something to mitigate this. We have laws against torture. You know that. We have Anti-Torture Act. It is very clear. We have Human Rights Act. We have the Constitution. It is very clear against mistreatment of people. Dehumanization of people. But these people are lawless. They do not follow the law. And for me, I have a decent respect for the rule of law. So the only thing that we can do right now is to send the dictator and his stupid son away, so that we can build good, strong and independent institutions. As you are aware that democracy depends on strong and independent institutions. So with Museveni, with his drunk son, I don't think that Uganda will ever have such institutions that respect rule of law. As I've told you before, that these guys, they come, arrest you, then they start investigations. In a normal country, I've been in first world countries, they first investigate when they are really aware that you did something. They come and arrest you when they have evidence. And they take you to court in a reasonable time, or as pursuant to the Constitution. But these fools, they come and arrest you, they torture you, then that is when they start to investigate. That is why I spent 2 weeks in illegal detention. 2 weeks in illegal detention. They were investigating. Even when I was taken to court, they said they are still investigating. It is just recently, a few days ago, when they said that investigations are complete. But when you see the rubbish they submitted to court as evidence, it is absolutely, I don't have any word to describe it. They don't have any case against me. They brought up this case just to make it formal. But this is just political persecution.
How has it affected you mentally, emotionally, your family, Obagwe? Only, how do they call it? Mutima gwa kaluba.
Me, I'm a very strong person. That is why you see I am still walking around, I'm still talking about it. But definitely, I am not all that well, but I am a very strong person. They found me when I had my PTSD for the other previous torture, and I'm still battling with it. Then they added on another one. So psychologically, okay, I still have that post-traumatic stress disorder. I still suffer with it. So whenever I see a drone, a military vehicle, an army person, I want to run away. And sometimes, okay, I do not sleep. I sleep for only 2 hours or 1 hour. Those are the problems that I have. I be sleeping and I dream about these guys whipping my buttocks, putting my scrotum, so I feel bad sometimes. At night I only read books, and if I manage to sleep, I can sleep for 1 hour or 2 hours.
I'm so sorry.
So it is very bad. That is why now you hear some fools blaming me for running out of the country. Of course, I was running. I have not run out of Uganda. I have run away from my tormentors for a while so that I can heal. But definitely I will come back when I'm okay.
What about your family? Aren't you worried for them?
My family, they are also traumatized, but not as like me. But they will be fine. My children are at school. They demanded to be taken to school because they could not manage to stay in the same place. They saw their father coming, limping, and dripping blood. Yeah, so they are well at school.
It's really sad, but thank you for Kakwenza. That's thing you've done, and I really applaud you for your boldness. What message both to your tormentors, to the judge, to the government?
I pity Museveni and his son, by the way. As I have said before, there is no leader in history who has ever won a war against a pen. I know you understand history very well. You know what happened to King Leopold of the Belgium. You know how at a young age, at about 70 something, he got depressed and suddenly died in 1908, 1909 because of writers. Writers gave him headache, and suddenly he lost the Congo. He had taken Congo as his private property, killed 10 million people. So writers exposed him, and he tried to bribe them. They refused, and he ended up dying after losing the Congo because of people exposing his criminality, because of writers exposing his criminality. So I really pity Museveni. I really pity Museveni and his son. He can never win a war against a pen. He can never.
So you said that you really caught my attention. I was looking, at least for you had people advocating for you, speaking for you. I'm now thinking about the 7 other people who you saw in this detention torture facility.
They cannot be 7 alone. There are very many. I actually feel bad that me, I am out, and for them, they are still there. And some of them, they have spent there even years. They don't even know. They don't even know which year it is. They don't know the month. They don't know the date. So I really feel bad. And some of them, they are noob. Some of them were arrested during the campaigns. They are still there. For them, they are used to dancing. They can dance the whole night.
So I think it's good that you told the world that they are there, they are being held.
They are there. There are many.
I think now the people responsible who are watching, those who have decency for humanity, can honestly push for their release. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, it's really traumatizing, because when I saw your pictures myself, I was in shock, and I'm like, what is going on in my country? It's really unfortunate that it's happening, and that needs to be stopped.
But such has happened ever since we got our independence. You know, we've never had a legitimate president, an elected government. I mean, president. You see how Museveni lost election, got only 2 votes, and decided to go to the bush and hoodwink people just because he wanted to become president. He wanted power. When he became president, he started organizing sham elections. He has never won any election. He's a computer-generated president. He came with a gun, now he started becoming a computer-generated president. So you have seen the barbarism in the elections since 1996. There was too much barbarism in 2001. You saw what happened. Me, I voted in 2001. What happened was very terrible. A lot of violence. 2006, 2011, 2016, 2021. You saw what happened. So I think they have mastered violence, and they have a lot of it in their toolbox. So every election year they pick what to use. They pick what to use.
Kakwenza, you have so many fans online, and I'm going to respond to a few questions from them, because we are limiting this to only 1 hour. So if you can choose a question from there, then you can respond to it, and then we'll call it a day.
I've not seen any question. I've seen someone saying that you are not asking me questions.
Because that's why in my post I said Kakwenza will narrate his traumatic ordeal, and this is what I want.
Okay.
So,
okay, can you call questions?
Yeah, so we'll take questions. They're just Moses Walgembe wants to know what can be done to save those other 7 people who are still in detention and people don't even know about them.
First of all, I do not know their names. I do not know their names. What I know is that.
Who should we go for? Who should the country go for?
Of course, they are inside the SFC. Then even when I went to CMI the first and second time, I saw hundreds of people in the dungeon. Hundreds of people. Some of them they did not know they were there since 2011. Can you imagine detaining someone since 2011?
These are BSJ supporters, or probably?
Some of them are BSJ supporters. Some of them are Bobby Wine supporters, like the ones in the SFC. At least I was the 7th, but I know that there are 6 people there. They were arrested during the campaigns in November and immediately after the elections, and they are kept there. So you saw the Human Rights Commission cannot access safe houses, cannot access Mbuya, cannot access SFC. Even when Parliament decided to go and access such detention centers, they were chased away. So what else should we do? Museveni must go. We need to chase away Museveni so that the whole system comes back to normal. These are political prisoners. Of course, when you chase away the president or the one who is masquerading to be a president, we shall get peace. These ones will be released. I feel so bad that I'm out and they are still there. The only way to get them out is to remove Museveni from power, because there is nothing else you can do. You don't know their names, but they are there.
The human rights defenders, of course, have listened to that. They're on this line, on the call. The US State Department, the United Nations, all these are bodies that are interested with protecting the rights of human beings. So I'm pretty sure they have taken note, and hopefully they will force the government to release these people, or at least try them, because detaining people without trial is so inhumane. So I think this is it for the day. Thank you so much. I want Kakwenza to be heard. I know, because imagine going through all this and then the judge tells you, do not speak about it, because so many people heal from trauma by speaking through things. And thank you so much for sharing this. Hope you feel better, and wherever you are, be safe, get treatment. Do you have like plans of like have you set up like medical appointments or?
Yes, I have my doctor in Germany on standby. He's actually waiting for me. It is me delaying him. So anytime I get my travel document, which is actually I might get it today, I'll just fly to Germany directly. Yeah, I have a doctor on standby.
That's good.
Not one, but okay, a team of doctors. They could be around 12.
Oh, there would be some people love to
Yes.
do out. Yeah.
Yes.
So be safe. Safe journeys to Germany.
So how I got out of the country, it will be another story for another day. So I don't want to talk about it.
Right.
I don't want to create tensions between Uganda and Rwanda.
But are you
Actually, the reason why I decided to escape via Rwanda, I wanted to give a middle finger to Muhoozi, because he went and he masqueraded as if he was opening the border, but I didn't actually use the border. I used the panya panya as the Polaris points. So I wanted to give him a middle finger that I can even go and I can escape through your enemy country. Yes.
Yeah. So it's just so funny, like you can get out of the country with all these officers that are being funded every day to protect the borders. So that doesn't even, I mean, we cannot guarantee our security, because if someone can sneak out with a passport without checked, because they were sleeping, as you said, then we're not a safe country that our security in. Dr. Kizza Besigye did it the other time when he came back to Uganda without a passport. Was it going out or coming back? And then you've done it. So imagine how many people, if someone had bad intention for the country, that would be easy access. So that says a lot about our security. We need to beef it up, not for people, for the Kampala, but for.
But unfortunately, UPDF officers are supposed to be protecting Uganda, the Ugandan borders, but they are doing a police job of arresting people, harassing people. They are instead of doing what they are supposed to do, they are doing another institution's work. Look at them in Congo. You think they are there to fight the ADF?
So you mean?
You just wait and you will see the repercussions of that invasion.
So they are not.
They are being used foolishly by Museveni to root Congo. Which kind of soldier you want to fight ADF, but you want first construct roads to access the ADF? Which fool of any ADF will wait for you that you construct a road and you reach them? They are constructing roads so that they can get a clear way to transport the loot, the timber, the minerals to Uganda. As you saw, gold is one of the largest export of Uganda. But do we have the gold mines? We do not have. All the gold comes from Congo. So you can understand the intention.
It's just a story. I'm really like listening you speak about all of this has somehow like, let me just reserve that. But I'm going to end this. Thank you so much for showing up, for speaking about your story. Last word for the viewers.
Thank you so much for hosting me.
You have a dog. It's so cute.
Yes.
That dog.
My bodyguard.
Be a random dog. Run this. Must be like it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hosting me, Remy. Speak to you later.
Yeah, all right, talk to you then. Be safe again. Bye. Thank you guys.
Let me enjoy my Malawi.
Enjoy Malawi, Kigali, New York, Germany. And
Okay.
just a disclaimer, because I've hosted Kakwenza. I don't expect anyone to come to me to ask me where he is, because I honestly don't know either. So that seals it. Bye, guys.